everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our topic determiners. Now, this is part 13. Well, in this session, we are going to discuss lots of, a lot of, and plenty of. Now, you must have heard about these phrases or these determiners a lot about in your life, or you must have used these expressions in your sentences as well. So in this session, we are going to elaborate these points. We are going to discuss each and everything about these points so that when you use these phrases in your speech, you may not be wrong. So let's begin the session. Here we are going to define lots of, a lot of, and plenty of. Now let me take the pen. Define lots of, a lot of, plenty of. After that, we'll discuss the usage of lots of, a lot of, and plenty of, and then we'll see the rules regarding these expressions. So let's begin the session. First is lots of and a lot of, plenty of. Now, lots of, a lot of, and plenty of differ slightly in usage from much and many. Now, you must have heard a word about much, many. Then we have lots of, a lot of, plenty of. All these words define something which is large in number, or which is something more in number. For something which is in plural sense we use, or for when something which has large quantity we use these expressions. And because these are determiners, obviously they are followed by a noun. It means whenever we have word lots of or anything, after that we have only noun. We can have a lot of, after that also we have a noun. After plenty of, again we do have a word noun. Now all these words, they slightly differ from the word much and many. How? We'll discuss in this session. Well, we have already discussed much and many in our earlier sessions. I told you that many and much both show something in large quantity, but many is used only for countable nouns, whereas much is used with uncountable nouns. That's it. But in this case, if you see lots of, a lot of, and plenty of, what we do, these phrases can be used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Now, as I told you that if we talk about many, many is only used with countable nouns. I told you before as well that countable noun refers to those nouns which can be counted in terms of 1, 2, and 3. But uncountable nouns are such nouns that cannot be counted in terms of 1, 2, 3, but they can be measured. So many can be followed by countable noun. In fact, it is followed by countable noun, whereas much is only followed by an uncountable noun. But in case of these phrases, that is a lot of, lots of, or plenty of, what they do, after these we can either have a countable noun or we can have an uncountable noun, or you can say we can have both countable noun or uncountable noun. Any of these, either of these can be followed by lots of, a lot of, and a plenty of. So whenever we have a phrase that is plenty of, after that we will only have countable noun or uncountable noun. Now, one more thing is there. We have already read some words about like some. So in the in case of some also, I told you that some can be followed by countable as well as uncountable noun, though the difference is of making it plural or singular. Now, let me tell you this as well. Suppose there is a word a lot of, or lots of, or phrase plenty of, not a plenty of, it is plenty of. We have these phrases. Now what they do, after these we can have a countable noun or we can have an uncountable noun. We can have either of these. So if the word is countable noun, it should be always in plural form, because a lot of or lots of means when we refer to something which is large in number. And if something is more than one, more than two, obviously it is plural. So if a lot of, lots of, or plenty of is followed by a countable noun, that countable noun should be plural in form. That cannot be singular at all. But if it is followed by an uncountable noun, because uncountable noun is always considered singular, and lots of or plenty of basically refers to the part of that particular uncountable noun. So this uncountable noun is always considered singular, therefore it will be singular only. It will not be plural at all. It will be singular always, because uncountable noun cannot be converted into plural form anyhow. So lots of plenty of show the part of that particular uncountable noun. For example, now let me tell you these three expressions with some examples. Suppose we have 5 chocolates. We have 5 chocolates. So I can say a lot of chocolates. A lot of chocolates. Suppose there are 50 chocolates. So I can say a lot of chocolates. I can say plenty of chocolates. I can say lots of chocolates. Lots of chocolates. So these are chocolates. Now, if I say, because chocolates are countable, and if I say a lot of chocolates, plenty of chocolates, lots of chocolates, because chocolate is countable noun, so we are using it in plural form after a lot of, because a lot of obviously refers to something which is more than 1 or 2. It should be more in number then. Now, but if I say, suppose there is lots of love. Now, is love countable? Can you count love? No way. So lots of love refers to when someone loves you a lot, when someone loves you very much. For example, my mother loves me a lot. So in this example, I can show the love of my mother for me, that is infinite. So that is lots of love, because this love is uncountable. So we can use the part of it. Now, if I say plenty of cake was wasted. Now, maybe possible the cake is very big. The cake is very, very big. Or maybe it has many layers. It has some, okay, let me just draw this again. This is not beautiful as I wanted to. Well, let me explain it again. Suppose we have a large cake. We have a large cake in the birthday party. And I'm saying that a lot of cake or plenty of cake was wasted. It means the guests who arrived or the family members, they ate only this much part. Now this cake is just used for throwing purpose, or was just wasted. Nobody has eaten this much part. So lots of, or you can say plenty of cake was wasted, lots of cake was wasted, or you can say a lot of cake was wasted. Just because this part of cake is only used and this part of cake was not used at all, or this part of cake was used. Therefore, here we can say that plenty of, lots of, a lot of. So just to show the part, just to show that part. So this cake is uncountable. This cake is not one cake. I'm showing the parts of the cake. If we have, suppose 50 cakes, of course they are countable. But if we are talking about the parts of the cake or the pieces of the cake, it means we are talking about only one cake, that is a piece of bread, of course. So that is uncountable. So in this case, whenever we talk about countable nouns, they should be plural. But if we talk about uncountable noun, it should be singular always. Now let us get back to the slides to elaborate these points. When used with countable nouns, they are in plural form, as I told you. When used with uncountable nouns, the noun remains in its singular form, because uncountable nouns are always considered singular. I hope you understood this point. They all suggest a large quantity or amount. Plenty of often conveys the idea of more than enough. When something is more than enough, it means it is plenty of. When something is excessive in quantity, when something is more than enough, it is more than we require, that means plenty of. Examples with uncountable noun: there is plenty of water in the tank. Now, plenty of water in the tank, it means in which quantity we require, it is more than that. So there is plenty of water. Now water is uncountable noun, therefore it is singular. We cannot use waters. Of course, waters is not plural, but it is something else in meaning. So we cannot use waters, it is water. Just because water is uncountable, we cannot use it in plural form, it will be singular only. Now countable noun, plural. Now whenever we have countable noun after it, obviously it will be plural. For example, I have lots of friends. So friends are countable, we can use lots of friends. Now let us move to the next one. If we have the word much and many, we know well that much is always used with uncountable noun, whereas many is used with countable nouns. And countable nouns, they are always plural because many, of course, refers to something which is more than one or two. Much. Examples. Much of the cake was eaten at the party. Now, here, much of the cake. Now, cake is only one. So, we are talking about that particular cake only. And much of the cake was eaten. It means a little part was left. She spent much of her time studying for the exam. Now, of course, time is uncountable and she spent much of her time. It means she study as more as she can. Sorry, as much as she can. The project required much of our resources. So, whatever resources we have, the project required much of them. Now, let us move to the next one. Many. Now, with the word many, we know well that it is always followed by countable noun, and the countable noun should be plural in form. Many of the students attended the school assembly. So students are plural and countable, so we are using many of. I invited many of my friends to the party. So friends are countable, I'm using many of. He has read many of the books on the recommended reading list. So many of the books. So these are the words or the determiners which are used before noun on the basis of its countable or it's being countable or uncountable. Now let us move to the further points. Usage with of. Now, if we have word many, we can directly use, for example, many students. Many students were there. And I can also use much or she spent much money on her dresses. So this is how we are using these words and we are using nouns just after them. But if we are using of with them, when much and many is used with a pronoun or a determiner like the, my, these, this is usually followed by of. Now, we can use many of the, much of the, many of my, much of my, many of these, much of these. We can use like this. This is not necessarily the case with lots of, a lot of, or a plenty of. Now, whenever we have much and many, we can use of, and after that, we can use the, my, these. But it is not the case with, it cannot be the case with lots of, or a lot of, or plenty of. For example, in the word plenty of, we already have of. So we need not write of again. He does not have much patience. He has many books. With of, many of the books were missing. All these expressions, quite a bit, quite a few, and quite a lot, are similar to a lot of in that they express quantity, but they can sometimes imply a slightly lesser amount compared to a lot of. Now we have another expressions over here. As I told you that after many or after much, whenever we use of, we use a more determiner after that, and then we'll have the noun. But in this case, a lot of, lots of, we need not write of again because they always contain of. And one more thing is there, we need not write the or these or any possessive case after that or any determiner after that. We can directly write a noun over there. Now, in case of all these expressions, there are a few more concepts. That is, what are the expressions? Quite a bit, quite a few, and quite a lot. So these are some different expressions, but are similar to a lot of, in that they express quantity, and they can sometimes imply a slightly lesser amount compared to a lot of. So we can also use these expressions, quite a bit, quite a few. So they also tell us the quantity. Now, few refers to when something is negligible. A few means when something is very less in number, or when something is there. So quite a bit is just like quite a few, quite a lot. So we can use these expressions as well. Now, quite a bit. First, we are going to discuss quite a bit. Usage. This phrase is typically used with uncountable nouns. So quite a bit is generally used with uncountable nouns. It indicates a substantial amount of something. A substantial means a little amount of something. For example, she has read quite a bit about ancient civilizations. So quite a bit, it means some part or some things about ancient civilization. She has quite a bit of experience in the field of marketing. Quite a bit means a little, or you can say some experience. So it is generally used with uncountable nouns. Now we have covered quite a bit of material in today's lecture. So quite a bit material, it means some material. I have saved quite a bit of money by cooking at home instead of eating out. So I have saved money. So quite a bit money, it means a substantial part. It means something which is preferable, or which is at least that yes, we are on the positive side. So that is just like quite a bit. Now let us move to the next one. Another part, we have quite a few. Now we know well that few is generally, or it is always followed by a countable noun. So here as well, this phrase is used with countable nouns. So quite a bit is followed by uncountable nouns, whereas quite a few is followed by countable nouns. This is the basic difference between the two. It signifies a fairly large number. When something is large in number, fairly large in number, it means a large number which is required. So that means quite a few. For example, there were quite a few people at the concert. So there were quite a few. In this case, quite a few suggests a large, noticeable number of people, but not an overwhelming crowd. So here you can see what is the meaning of quite a few. When something is noticeable, it means you can see, yes, there are many people, but they are not overwhelming crowd. Means you cannot say that they are excessive. They are not out of limit. But yes, of course, they are very much, or they are many in numbers. So this is the meaning of quite a few. There were quite a few people at the party last night. It means many people were there. Now let us move to the next one. She has quite a few books on her bookshelf. We encountered quite a few challenges during the project. It means many challenges, but not many more. Now quite a lot can be used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Now here, in summary, we can see we have quite a bit. It is Quite, quite a bit. After that, we have quite a few. And after this, we have quite a lot. Now, what we can see that with these expressions, quite a bit is always followed by by uncountable noun, and if we are talking about quite a few, it is followed by countable nouns, and if we are talking about quite a lot, it can be followed by both countable as well as uncountable noun. So these are the structures of these expressions, can be used with countable and uncountable nouns. Meaning similar to a lot of, it is just like a lot of when we talk about a large amount of number. It indicates a large amount of number when something is large in number. Now again, the part will be same, that if we have a word that is quite a lot, if we have this expression, we can have two things. What are the two things? First thing is that it is followed by a countable noun, and if it is followed by an uncountable noun, the two situations are different. If it is followed by countable noun, this noun should always be in plural form, and if it is uncountable noun, it should be in singular form always. So just keep this in mind whenever these type of expressions are followed by either of the two. What we do, countable nouns are always considered in plural form, and uncountable noun as always are considered in singular form. Now let us move to the next one. Example with uncountable nouns. So first we are going to read the example with uncountable noun. He has done quite a lot of research. Now research is uncountable on the topic or on this topic. So he has done quite a lot of research. It means a lot of research means a large number of, a large amount of research. She owns quite a lot of books on gardening. So quite a lot of books, it means she has many books. Quite a lot of books. A large number of books. When a lot or great deal are used without of. Now again, we have one more expression, that is a great deal. Are used without of. They function as adverbs, modifying a verb to indicate a large degree or extent of the action. Now, for example, a lot as an adverb. When a lot is used as an adverb, it means to a large extent or frequently. So, when a lot of is used as an adverb, it means to a large extent or frequently. It means when something happens or appears again and again. For example, she travels a lot for work. She travels frequently, again and again means at short intervals. So just after some time, only a little after some time. Here, a lot modifies the verb travels and indicates frequent travel. He reads a lot. It means maybe possible he reads a lot. He likes to read, or he has many books or the newspapers. So he just involved himself in reading. In this case, a lot modifies the verb reads, suggesting that he reads frequently or to a great extent. So this is how we can use a lot for these verbs. Now, a great deal as an adverb, if it is used as an adverb, a great deal used as an adverb can mean much or to a large extent. She cares a great deal about her community. So cares is verb and a great deal is adverb, which is qualifying the term or the verb cares. Now, it means she cares very much for her community. Here, a great deal modifies the verb cares and indicates a high level of care or concern. It means she cares very much or to a large extent. To indicates a high level. The project benefited a great deal from her expertise. Now, in this example, you can see benefited. This is verb, and it has benefited a great deal from. It means they were very much benefited by this. So, in this example, a great deal modifies the verb benefited, suggesting significant benefited or significant benefit. So, this is how we can use this term as well. Now, let us move to the next one. When a lot or lots are used without of, they can be combined with comparatives or other adverbs to intensify or modify the meaning. Now, if a lot word is there and we are not using of after it, we are just using a lot. For example, if I say, my mother loves me a lot. So here I have used an expression a lot, but I'm not using of. So this a lot is using as an adverb, which is qualifying the verb that is loves. So a lot or lots, they can be used as an adverb, as adverbs as well. It is not though they are determiners or they behave like adjectives, but if these words are there or these expressions are there, they can be used as an adverb as well, as adverbs as well. So they will not be followed by of preposition, and they can be combined with comparatives, or you can say comparative degree of adjectives, or other adverbs to intensify or modify the meaning. However, it is important to note that very is not typically used before comparatives, but a lot, lots, far, much, rather, little, a little, even can be. It means we cannot use comparative degree after the word very, but we can use comparative degree after these expressions. For example, first we have a lot or lots with comparatives. She is a lot happier now. Now, happier is comparative degree, and a lot happier refers to that now she is happier. In fact, very much happier. So, we can use very much, we can use much happier. A lot happier shows that uh, she's happier to a large extent. This book is lots more interesting than the other one. So it means I'm just stating that suppose there are two books A and B, and I'm showing this much is higher in you can say very much interesting. So we can use just lots more just to show word lots to emphasize this word that it is very, very interesting as compared to the another one. With other adverbs, he runs a lot faster than his brother. They worked lots harder on this project. Far much. These words are often used with comparatives to intensify the comparison. This version is far better than the previous one. So better is comparative degree for which we are using far better. Well, it means when we are making or emphasizing this comparison, far better, suppose there are two things like A and B. And I prefer that this one is better than this one. But here I'm saying far better. It means maybe possible. It in comparative degree as well. It is far better means it is very very much better, or you can say it is much better. Suppose we are saying 10 for it, so we can give only one number for this. So there is a lot of comparison can be seen in between. Lot of difference can be seen in between. So here for something which is extra different or which is extra um, good in quality, we can use far better for that. He is much more experienced in this field. So much more experienced, it means very much experienced. Rather, a little, or even. These are used to provide a nuance to the comparison. The test was rather easier than I expected. Nuance means a good difference. So in this, you can see easier is a comparative degree. Now let us move to the next one. A little. Her response was a little more complicated than necessary. So more complicated. This is comparative degree and a little we are using before it. Even. He is even smarter than his sister. Even means still now. Comparative is smarter and even smarter. Each of these combinations serves to modify the degree of comparison, either intensifying it, as with a lot, lots, far, much, and even, or moderating it, as with rather and a little. As for very, it is generally not used with comparatives. It is more commonly paired with adjectives or adverbs in their positive form, like very happy or very quickly. Well, I hope this much is clear to you all. So we have learned many determiners, in fact, many different expressions in this session, which can be used differently. Thanks to you.